for all this year. I am a little emotional with the patient, with me, because for me it was very hard from the beginning. And you have like patient and every training and every coaching and everything. I was like, eh. And with my English, it was so difficult for me to understand everything. And first of all, I want to thank you for these patients. And also, I want to thank Eddie. He helped me with the listing. And I want to thank Pablo also for his time. He sat with me like 2 hours to explain me each point, each step of the documents and where to put everything, like a baby steps. And he took like so much time from him to give me. And also to Chloe again, that with the scripts, I continue learning every day. And to Julie for her support, always in top of me to help me for everything. And
awesome.
That's it.
That's
Only
great.
186 shares. Thank you.
Right?
I'm so grateful. I received so many help.
But you deserve.
Thank
Teamwork.
Hey, can I say something?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Good morning to everybody. It was a very emotional weekend to everybody. And since I woke up this morning and read what Gary Keller said about our mission and our company being a culture-oriented one, I'm emotional drain, but all what is happening. But I'm thankful for board because energize me and focus me, especially in these times. In the beginning, I thought that it was 2 weeks vacation. And then when I start seeing what is happening, I was affected by other people making business and I don't. And I have to thank Pablo and Anna for encouraging me and reading the bold law that says, don't compare your inside to the others people outside. And when I start looking at that and getting rid of my monkey conversation, I start moving and rolling and being in the system and using the method and participating with the CCC and the force and everything that I was learning. I have to thank Talia for being committed with me to practice the scripts and go over any obstacles that occur to us. So it's like I'm looking to hear her voice and her encouragement, and through the day we talk a few times. So that means a lot to me that we are supporting each other. And the bold law, fear of faith you choose. The purpose of business is to find a perfect life. Focus on the plan, not on the problems. Your business grows to the extent that you do. It summarized to be, do, and achieve. So reading these bold laws every single day, it's energizing. It's like I start my morning with meditation, inspiration, my yoga, my good breakfast. This law, it's what pushed me after I finish with Talia to do what I need to do. And thank God, because the care calling, and it's very effective. I did not reach 40 a day, but I think that I reached to very meaningful connections. As a result, I have 8 referrals and past clients that are ready, willing, and able to buy, which is big for me. I am closing.
Julie, you're shooting the champagne too early. You're shooting the champagne. This is Cheers for Peers. We're going to talk about bold later on.
I wanted to thank Bolt because that's what helped me to focus on business.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
So that's what I wanted to say, that if it wasn't because Bolt, I will be with my monkey conversations.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
that's
For
what
sure.
I reported, how it was to me, the Bolt.
Awesome. 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 Thank you. Thank you for bringing that back around.
You're welcome.
I want to thank Chloe was my group leader who I reported to every day. And I always gave her a report. She always responded and everybody communicated with each other. So thank you, Chloe.
Love hearing that. Love hearing that. It's Bold is about the experience. It's not about the class. It's the experience of everything that is Bold. And so I appreciate hearing from each of you what your experience is, because yet so many of us put it in a bottle, and it's not a bottle. It's all encompassing, going through the motions.
Nice. Well, Liz, Miguel,
Yep.
I want to start with the experience of bowl. I just gotta say, you know, bowl. It actually takes me back to knowing how important the basics are, and the things that I've learned throughout the bowl is the things that I use, and me personally, I see how important it is when I'm actually having conversation right now with even my kids or even with just anyone, um, and so it's um, it just helped me to know that, you know, using this conversation would help me to be more professional, help me to get qualified people in a better way, and uh, a lot of the things, a lot of the exercise I've been through before, but getting back to the basics, it's really important. So I appreciate me having the time, you know, to go through the bowl experience and to just kind of like just push me back to the basics. So I appreciate that. Appreciate you too, Lee.
Thank you. Thank you. Together we're stronger.
I
Yeah.
think it's time, and I'm not the guy that normally do that, to Waxman Group. What a job, what exceptional work they did during this crisis.
Mhm.
Amazing. Basically 24 hours a day trying to support us and put us back on track. And I didn't see any other company, really. I spent a lot of time on my computer checking everything in real estate, and I didn't see any company that provide this kind of support to the people that are connected with them. Thank you. Congratulations to Alan and his group. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. And I'll tell you, we've only just begun. If there's one thing that we as a Waxman group, and guys, hear this through. There's one thing that this COVID-19 scenario has solidified. Gary talked about this on his podcast last Monday. If you didn't have the opportunity to listen to Gary's conversation with the author of The Road Less Stupid, go back and watch or listen to that interview. And my biggest aha, going, Joseph, to your observation, is in that interview, they have this conversation about, in the middle of March, a meteorite hit Earth. Yes, that's a metaphor. Yet a meteorite hit Earth and life as we know it has changed. We're not going back to February ever again. How we do business, how we connect with others, how we live our life will not go back to February. And we as a Waxman group understood that and stepped up as a cohesive leadership group of 3 offices acting as one family. And I think, Joseph, that's what you're referring to, this energy of just inclusiveness and opportunities and growth and education and care. Because we understood without even kind of observing, just being natural, putting you first, each of you first, that we understood that we're not going back to February ever again. And that's I'm going to be going over a lot of these different things today. Gary kind of talked about it today too. I mean, life is changing as we know it in every aspect of what that means. And we can fight it, we can ignore it, or we can embrace it. And I choose to embrace it. Do you?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's continue on. This is fun. This is good stuff. We're just for peers going to 10:32. Let's keep going.
We forgot to provide shares to Sue. Probably she's working not only 24 hours, 36 hours to put everything together. Thank you, Sue.
You're welcome, Joseph.
Yeah, Sue is a rock star. Definitely grateful for Sue. Cheers for peers.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, guys.
Yep, our utility player.
I'm sorry. I
Go ahead,
want to
Anna.
jump in. Go ahead, Anna. And just for peers for Sue on Friday. I was driving back home and I needed some business cards because I had showings in Brico, and without other realtors, they asked me to bring business cards to show the management that I was showing properties, and I ran out of mine stack, so I asked her to print for me, and then I called her 4:45 and I said, Sue, are you gonna be there? No, I'm working and I have to finish what I'm doing and I'm not leaving at 5. And I said, okay, so I'll go there. So when I got there, she's supposed to print some like plain paper business cards because she ran out of paper. They didn't deliver the paper to her. So she gave me this cute business card that she found somewhere in the office. And she said that she was not leaving early on a Friday. And she's just a handful of kindness and love. Thank you so much, Sue, for being there and support us.
You're
with
welcome.
everything. Thank you again.
You're welcome, Anna.
Yay. Awesome. Anyone else? Oh, David, here we go.
Yes, I want to say thank you to Sue.
Go ahead, Tony.
I want to say thank you to Sue because, I do have a 9 to 5. And so it's a little bit right now to juggle, a couple things at once. And it's very cool that she reached out to me and sent me the Zoom meeting. So I appreciate you, Sue.
You're welcome.
Yay.
You're welcome.
And I'll close this out with David Baez, who texts me and is feeling a little under the weather, yet has committed to being a part of the team meeting. David said, thank you to our leadership and our new leader, Eddie, for committing to helping agents succeed through productivity coaching. I am grateful to be in business with all of you. And David, we are grateful to be in business with you. All right. So let's move the business, move the meeting forward. Welcome guests, any guests that are hop on the call. We're at 30 folks here on the call. And can we get a volunteer to read the Y4C2Ts? Go ahead, Lorena.
Win, win or no deal. Integrity, do the right thing. Customers always come first. Commitment in all things. Communication, seek first to understand. Creativity, ideas before results. Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Trust, start with honesty. Success, result through people.
Awesome. Thank you, Lorena. And a volunteer to read the mission statement. Come on, guys. Somebody unmute.
Okay.
You know what? Go ahead, Miguel.
All right. Keller Williams, mission statement. Building careers worth business, worth owning lives, worth living. Experience worth giving, legacy worth leaving.
Awesome. 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 Now, I have a goal. Okay. And my goal is that we embrace this next slide as a group standing in solidarity. And as I ask this, I kind of get a little teary in my eye, because I think that this can be a very beautiful next few minutes. And some of you have already had the opportunity to read it. Some of you may have heard about it. And yet what my goal is when I switch this slide, is that we can get a volunteer to read each paragraph. I'll start with the first paragraph, and then somebody else just hop in and read the next paragraph, and then somebody else read the next paragraph and the next paragraph. So there are, where'd it go? Why isn't it showing up? Hold on, guys. Let me go back. Oh no, it's not there. Hold on. We're gonna fix this. I am so sorry. What I had put here was, let me pop it up here on the screen, because it's that important. So stand by, guys. Let me pop this up on the screen. Can you guys see this?
Now, yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Hold on. So let me bring this up here, and we're gonna do this from a technical standpoint. All right. Can you guys read it? Is it big enough?
A little more. Yes. Now we can.
Perfect. So what I'm going to start off, I'm going to read the intro, and then somebody read this paragraph, somebody else read this paragraph, somebody else read this paragraph, and then one person read each paragraph. And if you haven't read this yet, this is a letter from our CEO, Gary Keller, that is in each of your inboxes that was sent late last night. So I'm going to start, and then somebody else hop into the second paragraph. Dear Keller Williams family, I'd like to make one thing clear. Racism is wrong, and Keller Williams stands with the Black community and wholeheartedly supports equality.
Right now, communities across America are experiencing tremendous pain. This pain builds and grows exponentially with each name. George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Eric Gardner, Sandra Bland, Michael Brown, and too many more. Each person had a story, a family, a home, and a life that mattered that was taken away from them.
To our Black Keller Williams associates and clients, we are with you. You matter. Your family, friends, and community matter. Your lives matter. You are in our hearts and in our prayers.
Shuli, you muted yourself.
The truth is that racial injustice and inequality persistence, and in order to help change that, it's crucial that not only say something about it, but to do something about it. I believe that the real estate community has a unique opportunity to promote healing and reform. The first step is reflecting and thoughtful self-examination. Then we listen, we learn, we speak up. That's new changes happen. We know many of you are past this stage, and for you, we need your leadership.
Effective
Effective
immediately, we are creating a task force of our International Associate Leadership Council to come forward with recommendations for action to eliminate any racial disparity within our company, our industry, and how we can lead the way in the communities where we live and work. I will be reaching out to your regions immediately to ask for a nomination for each to join us in this critical effort. I'm proud of the company we've built together, but I know in my heart that we can do more. I believe we can also set an example within the industry by committing more of ourselves to a better and equitable future.
No.
We can all do something. Lead a conversation in your market center and commit as family to create change. Reach out to your local real estate board and make sure that racial equality is reflected in their position. Ask if they support initiatives and measures crucial to racial and social justice. Then get involved in those you believe in.
Now is also the time to check in on each other, speak our truths, and listen with an empathetic ear. While we may not be able to come together in person, we can make a difference. Call, video. Sorry, my screen just went away for some reason. Call, video chat, text, and support each other during this unbelievably challenging time.
Take heart and take care of each other. While pain and hate brought us to this moment, love will help us find our way out.
Onward, Gary. Wow. Right?
Wow.
I had posted on Facebook, guys, this note that Gary shared with us. And I said, we're not the greatest real estate company because we sell the most real estate. We're not the greatest real estate company because we sell the most volume of any real estate company. And we're not the greatest company because we have the most agents. We're the greatest company because we have the greatest leadership this industry has ever seen. We're the greatest company because of all of you. And we stand in lockstep because this is our time. Not only from the corona to this experience that we've all had, we have the opportunity to absolutely provide the support, the energy, the drive, and we are a bottom-up company, and yet it's so much easier when the top is aligned and driven and focused on creating the greatest real estate company this earth has ever seen. And so thank you guys for participating. I guess I'll open this back up. What did you guys just experience in that? That was beautiful.
Lee, the letter, it's beautiful because you can feel that it's written from the heart in the conscience of Gary Keller. Yet each of us experienced this traumatic experience, probably very painfully. Watching that video was, for me, the most painful thing I have ever watched in my life, because a life was taken with no mercy away in front of all of us. And it was so painful that I can tell everyone here that it has been, perhaps after the death of my parents and my siblings, the most painful weekend I have ever experienced in my life. And we as humans cannot tolerate this. As Americans cannot tolerate this. And if there's anything that we can learn from this, is that we need to remind ourselves that we are all humans, and that love must transcend any race, color, gender, ideas, views, and accept every human being as for who they are, which is a human being, just like each of us.
Amen. Amen.
I don't know, Lee, if what I will say now is right or wrong. It's only my personal opinion. The situation by itself is like Pablo described it, was extremely, extremely painful and make us rethink life. Unfortunately, the reaction of the people was terrible. You cannot react to violence being violent. You cannot try to fix a problem like that, taking other people's life. You cannot solve this problem destroying people's business. Unfortunately, we don't have control about the mess. We don't have it, okay? I am extremely, extremely sorry for the reaction.
There's a wonderful speech this week that was made, I believe, on Saturday by one of the greatest speakers of our time, and I'm going to go out and say that. His name is Killer Mike, and he is an activist and a hip hop artist, and his comments, Joseph, echo yours, and he speaks with tears rolling down his face that mirrors what you just shared. And I encourage everyone on this call to try to hold energy back watching Killer Mike explain, Joseph, what you just shared. He says it literally with tears rolling down his face in hurt with what you just shared. So on the topic that you just shared. So with that said, I mean, I think we've touched on the two parts. Is anyone else pressing to share energy from our experience that we just had here with the team breaking down each one of Gary's paragraphs?
I believe that when it comes from leadership, like Gary Keller did, if we had better leadership in this country, this will not accelerate to what it happened. They needed to condemn also the other police that were there, and they didn't do anything. So if it was immediate action right away, this should not be escalated to what. So I think it's all about leadership.
Yeah, and I'm just grateful to be in a company with Gary, in our space, to know that we're all in lockstep. So that said, let's. My apologies that for whatever reason these did not show up here, because I put them here. So let's go back into presentation mode and push through. The office is now officially open. We have taken precaution and cleaning, and we have masks, and encourage you, should you feel safe enough to come back to the office. The office is open, and we encourage you, should you feel comfortable enough to leverage, please do so. And we're here to encourage to embrace your business and starting to push forward. So any questions on the office?
Very clear.
All right. Then that brings us into, we have a new month and new birthdays, and we will be celebrating throughout the month. And want to wish everyone a happy birthday up this week. That's Osvaldo, Ralph, and Annette. And and anniversaries. We got Perry here, pushing 14 years. Carrie, Allie, Fritz, Jamie, Valeria, Rielza, Antonio. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Cindy, Janice, Linda, Eric, Joseph, Christian, Chris, and Jay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Which brings us to this next slide. Wanted to share the most updated statistics going on in our area. So this is Dania Beach, Hollywood Beach, Hollywood, Hallandale, Miami Gardens, West Park, all of the areas surrounding us, North Miami Beach, Sunny Isles Beach. In the last 7 days, there's been 261 listings taken, 170 went under contract, and 93 closed. Guys, the market's moving. That's a 35% absorption rate.
Lee, what percentage of that is, because in the past we do it separately, what percentage of that is Aventura?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Pablo. I did not break down the actual cities. I just did a snapshot for this meeting. This is the email that that Sue sends out to you for you to share with your sphere. So that should be out in the next day or so. This is the statistics that will be on that. And the idea here, Pablo, is for you to take that visual and share it with your sphere to let them know that things are moving, that things are actually going. Now, is Aventura moving slower than Miami Gardens? Yeah. Yeah. Is Hallandale and Sunny Isles moving slower than Miami Gardens? Yeah. And it would be my pleasure to pull the actual statistics. I felt that if we dove into the Aventura, Sunny Isles, Hallandale specifically, it would just be a less aggressive number. And I will pull that for our meeting next week. So,
if I'm not wrong, Lee, last week I did one, and we had more or less gross numbers in Aventura, 1,550 active, and we had 110 sales and pendings.
Mm-hmm.
This was the numbers that I took last week, in middle of last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's for sure. It's not all of a sudden that these condos are going to move. And the interesting part is there's going to be a discrepancy. You're going to. I'll tell you guys. I was looking at Fort Lauderdale, and it makes me concerned when you see sellers raising their price. And it's like, I don't know where they're getting this information that all of a sudden that there's going to be this onslaught of buyer demand so they can raise the price. And the interesting part is all of those properties are still sitting. And so I'll pull those numbers for us, Pablo, and I'll present them next week for the team meeting. All right.
Can I make a comment about that? I fired myself with pleasure from a seller that wanted to increase the price because he heard that everybody is migrating from New York to South Florida. And it's a dear friend of mine, and I could not listen more to his comments every day. So I told him, thank you very much for the privilege. and I releasing myself to be your realtor. And I got the name from Richard, and it was a pleasure.
Yeah, I'd rather put you down now than let you down later.
Yes, and my health and every day of peace, it was more meaningful to earn a commission.
Amen.
But one thing that is for sure happening, the extremely high apartment value is moving more now than was moving before the crisis.
For sure.
You can bet that I follow this segment every single day, and we are selling more expensive units than before. And I am talking about 1.5 million up. Okay.
And I want to add, with all the great leadership we have, we don't need to be order takers.
That's right, 100%.
I love that. I love that. And that this becomes a skilled market. And that's what Eddie's referring to. And I'll tell you guys, as an office, we are in momentum. So congratulations to you. Let's check out some of the listings taken here in the last week. Elion, rockin', taking almost $1 million in listings over the last week. Larry Lewis, David Baez, Lana, the Baez Group, Jorge, Joey, and Joseph Gonzalez. Well done, guys. Kudos to you. We had a great May, and I am excited to see this ride of momentum flowing into June. So grateful to be in business with you guys.
My listing didn't show up.
Well,
two listings. For God's
Tell
sake,
us about it.
It's so hard to take this listing that I deserve to be mentioned.
Yeah, you do.
I got one here in my building, 2.59 million, and another unit for rent for $4,000.
Well done. Yeah, get with Sue to make sure that that's in the in next week's team meeting.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So wanted to quickly roll through this for you as a value add. This is Google Calendar. And as you guys can see over here, it says KWEP Calendar. And I have the Waxman Group calendar automatically flowing into my calendar. I can add my personal calendar and take my personal calendar off so that I could see what classes are being offered. Guys, did you know that there's an orientation going on at 1 o'clock that you could just hop in on Zoom? All you do is click the link and it'll pop right in. Don't forget, at 3 o'clock today, we have the all agent meeting. We have prospecting school at 5 o'clock that you could just hop on and either observe or participate. Lead generation, observation or participating every morning, 9:30 to 12:30. Just click the link and participate. I have group coaching every day at Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 1 o'clock. DocuSign training, IDX sites training, the language of influence, bulletproofing your transactions, command clinic. So does this surprise anyone, the amount of training that we have going on right now?
And Lee, don't forget to mention the 4:30 leadership meeting we normally have to improve our skills so we could give it back to our agents.
Yeah, for sure. Every day at 4:30, the leadership gets together so we could just pour more value into you. And if you guys have any questions on how to do this, please comment in the comment box, and I'll make sure that that we get to you how to create this very simple calendar where you don't even have to guess. You just open it up and you say, oh, this is what I want to take today. So comment in the box if you don't know how to do this and would like to get it set up. We'll help you get it set up. So please comment in the chat box, and we will make sure that you get the skill to get this into your calendar. For sure, for sure, for sure. So let's bring this back up into presentation mode, and let's push through. Want to congratulate you. Congratulate you, congratulate you. Why, you ask? Because you, being part of the Waxman group, have ranked in the top 10 of the top companies in production. So if we look here, we have Kai's, Coldwell Banker, Douglas Elliman, Compass, Sotheby's. These are every single one of those brokerages combined into one. The Waxman Group is just Fort Lauderdale, Coral Springs, and Aventura. Can I get a wow? Guys, we rank in the top 10, which is 3 offices. We rank in the top 10 of everyone in South Florida, every company, in competing with Coldwell Banker, which has 20 companies. Douglas Elliman has 10 Douglas Ellimans.
Yep.
And we're directly competing with full-on brokerages as our Waxman group.
Aria?
And so that's closed units. And here is closed volume.
I love these two charts. Beautiful.
Huge. This is a big deal, guys. This is a big deal. Because I promise, if we take all the Keller Williams, we're number 1. We take all the Keller Williams, we're number 1. Yet, when these come out, it's brokerages, not brands. And so we came out with that visual. You remember that, Shuli? The visual that we had at the end of the year that showed Keller Williams number 1?
Yes.
Yeah, that's because when you take all of the Keller Williams and put them together, like Coldwell Banker does, we're number 1. Nobody sells more real estate than us in South Florida. Go ahead, Eddie.
No, this is amazing. This is this can be a good tool for your listing appointments.
For sure.
Good tool for recruiting too.
Yeah. Yep, and yeah.
For your profit share.
With all your permissions, I don't know if this would be a great tool to use in my listing presentation. Why put myself in a position to explain that the Waxman Group is only 3 offices?
It's a great question, Pablo, because there's a listing tool that's sent out specifically to the 700 agents that are part of the Waxman Group. And would you want us to just put it on the MLS, or would you want us to expose it specifically to our team that ranks in the top 10 in all of South Florida?
No, I understand that we are, as a group, we're doing terrific, and we are a very powerful influence in the marketplace. But in a listing presentation, wouldn't it be better the other one that shows that we, as Keller Williams Realty, are number 1 in South Florida between Broward and Dade County by far?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Pablo. Yes and yes. In clarity, yes. That other slide, and if you guys don't know what we're talking about, I'll have that for next week's team meeting. You're absolutely right, Pablo. This is more for us to look at what we're doing as 3 offices in comparison to full conglomerates putting all of their transactions together. We're doing amazing as a Waxman Group, and I'm looking forward to see where we rank up together. This Keller Williams right here is 5 offices. We're 3 offices, and very excited. This is good news.
So, Lee, if technically, if we break it down to per agent transactions, we are higher, right?
Yeah. At the end of the day, we're doing awesome. We have the visual and the statistics that show that nobody sells more real estate than Keller Williams. Period. So, Catherine, are you here? I see you.
I'm here. I'm here. Hi there.
Sweet. Fire away.
Thank you guys for all the referrals. I hope you're all doing well. Condo questions keep coming up over and over and over. So many of you have first-time home buyers or buyers with low down payment. And you call me and you say, my buyer only has 3% down, can we buy a condo? No, probably not. Very few of the condos in South Florida are Fannie Mae approved. There are some, but it's not something you should really hang your hat on. It's hard to find out if they're not on the approved list. We need to do a condo questionnaire. To do a condo questionnaire, the buyer actually has to be under contract, and then we have to send the questionnaire, which costs anywhere between $150 and $300 depending on the condo. So it's not a quick fix for us. I can't just wave a magic wand and say, oh, the condo's approved. There is a list. There's also an FHA list. It doesn't mean that it's not approved if it's not on the list, but it takes effort and money to find out. So my message really is, if you have a buyer that only has 3% down, really try to stay away from condos, because you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. It's a million things. It's the insurance, it's the reserves, it's the owner occupancy. The list is long. So since we are in condo heaven in our area, just be mindful of that. If they have 10% down and good credit, we can pretty much get around all the other obstacles. So the question of low down payment on condos keeps coming up over and over and over. So I'm just saying, be careful with it. Call me. I'll be happy to tell you if it's already on the approved list. If it isn't on the list, then it's going to be a rocky road.
Love that.
Other than that, Ariana and I are going to be doing a training this month. I'm not sure what day, but we're going to put it together and do market updates and basically a Q&A. So we'll get together with Sue after this meeting and figure out a date and time. So I hope that you can come. And as always, I'm here for you. I work on the weekends, nights, whenever you guys are working, I'm here for you. So.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's dive into some bold pivots, shall we? We started with the Cheers for Peers with some tremendous energy. I want to open this up to those that participated. What are some wins? What are your experiences? What were your favorite moments? I just want to volley this up and let you guys roll with it. Let's mastermind.
Can I start?
Sure.
People care, how is it saying? People don't care how much you know until they see how much you care.
Yes.
And when I did the care calling, and I asked if the insurance agent called or the manicurist or the pool person called, and they told me that nobody called, and they were so happy that I called them. The first couple of weeks, it fulfilled me with so much joy. And I was kind of a little upset that I'm not getting listing. And I shared with Paulo and Anna, and they encouraged me to continue to do it. And when you come with contribution without expecting, boom. And a week ago, when all the condominiums open up, or the majority, suddenly I have phone calls for new listings and from buyers that are ready, willing, and able. So everything is timing. But I really think that Bold help, specifically in the times that we are right now, to get rid of these monkey conversations that I had and focusing. And the moment that in 12 weeks so far that I switch, the results came up. So I'm happy and thank you to Ford. And besides, these people that conduct the seminars, all the leaders, what a personality they have. I mean, just to listen to them, it was inspiring.
Amen.
I mean, beautiful human beings, really. So again, who you are in business with, it matters. Yes, Those people influenced me, inspired me, and I'm thankful.
Well done.
Not me.
Nope. Anna brought us some energy. Well done, Shuli. Who's next?
Well, I got a lot of benefit from the bull pivot, and one thing right in the middle, about in the middle, they got off of pushing you for the 40 contacts and more onto just keep improving every day. And what I kind of got out of it is it's good to do the things that were in our comfort zone, but we need to do things that are not everything out of our comfort zone, but to do some of the things. And some are easy, some are not. Like for example, about a year ago, Alan Waxman was giving a talk, and he said he was in a meeting that broke up with Keller Williams people, and they all used Uber, and he didn't know how to use Uber. And he was embarrassed, and he probably was out of his comfort zone.
Time is your appointment.
And he got back in his comfort zone. He learned how to do it. And that happened to me, so I learned how to use Uber. Sometimes it's easy. I watched the kids, like in the office here, making phone calls to expired listings. And they're tremendous. They're screaming and yelling. They're having fun. But they're in their comfort zone because it's easier to do it than not do it. But for example, if they went out and knocked on the doors of the people that can't reach, that would be a little bit out of their comfort zone.
Right on.
So it would be something to work on. On the other hand, for Larry Lewis, I have no problem going out there, but I have a problem with the phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
So what I learned is, and I have hundreds of scripts memorized, but not the ones to work on expired listings. And that's what I have to work on. Another thing that was mentioned, you may have said it, Lee, to be successful, we need to leverage our business. I mean, we can do fine without doing it, but to really do well, we need to leverage our business. And that comes from technology, and that's a weakness of mine. And that takes me out of my comfort zone. And I'm going to be working, and I've already started to get that into my comfort zone. And I think once we start doing it, it just becomes easy.
I love that. And Larry, this was your first bold experience, right?
Correct.
Love it. Love hearing this. Thank you, Larry, for sharing. Thank you, Julie. Who's next?
Hey, Lee,
Yeah.
Gail, my biggest takeaway was the tie-down questions. I mean, and asking better questions. I mean, it gains so much clarity from a conversation so that you don't have to keep thinking what to say, because once you ask those tie-down questions, it's like it's opened up a better conversation. And so I just start using it, you know, and I saw how you do it too, Lee. You know, it kind of like forces the other person not to just say yes or no, but to tell you exactly what's going on. You know, would you agree?
Would you agree?
Right.
Isn't it?
Isn't it? Exactly. I love those.
Well done. So you picked up new sales skills, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You guys catch that?
I want to say that focus on the plan, not the problem. And I love, like Larry said, that in the middle of bold, they start focusing of not in the perfection, it's how we improve our process. So that gave me a comfort zone to, like Larry, to learn new skills. And I went and I showed one of my listings on a FaceTime, which I never did. And guess what? I sold my listing. So
Yeah.
I'm doing now things that I didn't do it before because I got the encouragement that it's the process, not the perfection.
Amen.
That helped me to be more in my comfort zone.
I love hearing this. Who's next? Okay. The majority of you guys on this call were in bold.
We learned in bold is ask great questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're muted, Joseph.
Seems to me that the point that they insisted a lot and is extremely important is about the economic model, about how do you handle your company, how you handle the 30, and 40%. This was great. And about controlling your expenses, that is one thing that nobody does, unfortunately. And people think that they are making money, and at the end of the year, they have to get a loan to pay all the money that they owe to the bank. And if you don't get this kind of instrument in your hand, you can bet that you will be a loser. No doubt about it.
Well, it's the ostrich syndrome. This is what I hear. So the ostrich syndrome is this, guys. In the wild, when under attack, an ostrich runs as fast as it can, digs a hole, and sticks its head in the sand. Because the ostrich believes that if it can't see its attacker, it's safe. Is the ostrich really safe?
Nope.
Oh.
Man, I'd love to hunt ostriches then.
Right.
Easy targets.
Well, yeah, it's Mother Nature, and yet we as realtors, as a generalness, aren't trained nor comfortable talking about finances.
Yep.
And yet as business owners, we're in business for one reason: profit.
And they stated the counterbalance in work and life also is important, that you readapt yourself every single day.
Yeah, Joseph, it's embrace the counterbalance.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So many of us go, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed out. Oh my gosh, this is, I'm so out of balance. And we go farther out of balance versus embracing, okay, now I see where I am. Let me get back to center. Oh my goodness, I'm going to end up over here, and understand that this is part of the game.
Embrace the imperfection.
Yeah, absolutely. This is good stuff. Who else? All right. Going once. Going twice. Well, the next thing I have for you to close this meeting out is forbearance. Forbearance. I encourage each of you to go onto our Facebook group and find the video that I posted 2 weeks ago on this model. If I was you, which I'm not, yet if I was, I would watch this video 10 times. I'm not in sales and I've watched it twice. Why should you watch it? Because it will guide you with the market of the moment. It will guide you through the market of the moment. Does anyone know the number of folks that have filed for unemployment so far? Rough number? No?
40 million plus.
Yeah, 40 plus million.
1 out of 4, right? 1 out of 4?
Something like that. 25% of the United States. Now, again, that's not to help you or have you feel some type of way. It's for you to embrace the fact that there will be a bill to pay on this. That there will be a bill to pay. It will eventually affect the real estate market. And our theory, my theory, I'll speak for Lee, forbearance is going to be the market of the moment. And if you have no idea what this means, then I encourage you again to go on the closed Facebook group and watch the video and watch the video and watch the video and watch the video. Why? Because it'll teach you how to speak to your clients. It'll teach you how to be prepared to grow and help those in your sphere of influence who are need your help. Who need your help? Who need your help? After watching the video, you'll see what I mean. Some folks have already asked their lenders for forbearance, and many may find that the amount that their bank has deferred will be due in a hole. And if a mortgage payment is $3,000 and they're deferred for 4 months and they owe $12,000 in 2 months or 3 months, that may be a tough pill to swallow for many folks who are out of work. So I encourage you to take a few minutes and time block, watch the video, take notes, and prepare yourself for dialogue with your sphere of influence to bring value. With that said, I appreciate each of you and your time, your participation in today's call. And does anyone have any parting thoughts, ideas? Right. Well, then I wish you each a wonderful rest of your afternoon and hope to see you at 3:30 for the all agent meeting, where we're going to be chatting with those that have been knocking it out of the park here over the last couple weeks, hearing what's working in the market. So I appreciate each of your time and energy and participation today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lee.
Thank you.
Thank you.